I'm in downtown Indio today. It's 102. I don't have time to go out and exercise this afternoon. I wish I did. I've got class tonight. I've got a group to run later. And I'm working on other stuff. But I wanted to make a post about the fact that I've spent a lot of time this week on my third article that I've written about U2, and it's specifically U2 in the early 90s. And clearly I had a lot to say at 4,500 words. I don't know where a lot of this stuff comes from, but I've been working on this stuff. A lot of this has been sitting in my computer in bits and pieces for the last few years. And I remember thinking, I need to write some articles about U2. The day that they launched that Sirius XM YouTube channel, right? And maybe even before that, I had a thought to petition SiriusXM to launch a YouTube channel, because I was like, why do all these weird people on Sirius have channels and YouTube does not? Regardless of how you feel about them, right? When we talk about like worldwide effect and range and appeal, they're like a band similar in scope to the Beatles, where they have that many listeners and they have that big of a catalog. And then as the year went forward after they launched, like, I had a lot of things to say about what they were doing. I'm like, but then I realized everybody has things to say about U2 that are of a critical nature. So then I took all the things I was going to write about and I put them onto the back burner. And yet, here I am now, because I've realized it's kind of important to publish this material. And so I've spent all week writing about it. And, it really is my favorite period of their development. And I don't know if that was because the 90s were my 20s and I got a lot of mileage in the back in the 90s, or some of my favorite songs happened to be off, Achtung Baby and Zooropa, and my favorite album is Zooropa. I think it's their greatest album. Not one of, but the greatest album that they put out in total. I don't know. I don't know what to say about a lot of this stuff out loud. Clearly, I have a lot of thoughts that I write down. And, I was thinking about it this morning when I was writing. I'm like, God damn, I got a lot of things to say about this stuff. I don't know what to tell you, so I apologize that all the videos I make lately are long and all the articles that I write are, almost book length. But what are you going to do? This is the life. And I do stuff for the sake of socio and archaeologic kind of edification. That's what it's for. I'm making a record of thought. I'm making a record of perspective on information as it existed when it existed. That's it. If we get hit by a gigantic EMP blast from space that wipes off all of our hard drives, then so be it. But until that day, hopefully this stuff remains long enough for people to have consideration over, and it helps some historian in the future. There it is, right?